Good afternoon. My name is Greg Jones, Executive Vice President of Sun Automation Group, and I'm honored to serve on the Sheet Plant Association Committee. Specifically, my role really is to help recruit future talent. I do serve on a couple of boards in the United States, hoping to leverage that, and also, more importantly, leverage people like Neil, and you'll be getting some phone calls. Anthony Whiteside, I see you out there, but helping me make some connections to help us. We're having the same issue in the United States as recruiting people to this industry, which is a wonderful industry, but the education needs to be put on the forefront. It's my privilege this afternoon to welcome our next presenter, Andy Barnetson of Confederate Paper Industries, also known as CPI. CPI is the leading trade association for the United Kingdom. Paper industry, including all paper and tissue mills, and in excess of 90% of the integrated corrugated business, and works closely with the Sheet Plant Association, focusing solely on the independent corrugated sector. Andy's been with CPI for 20 years, majority of that time leading the packaging activity, which involved working with the PR agency for promotion of their sustainability messaging. 18 months ago, Andy took on a new role, competitiveness, which addresses trade issues, education and training, broader industry promotions, a very much needed industry initiative. Please welcome Andy Barnetson.
Thank you, Greg. 20 years, I know. I don't look old enough, do I? Some of you will have been with me on that journey. I've been speaking to conference for a long time. I can remember Chairman before Tim. There was a time before Tim. And it's a great pleasure to be back. Time was when I'd been speaking to you about packaging legislation. I'm very happy that someone else was able to pick that up today. Time was I was talking to you about the Beyond the Box promotional program. And that's moved on. I'll come back to that in a moment. So my role has changed. It's now education, it's skills, and that's what I'm going to come to. It's apprenticeships, it's promotion of the industry more generally. It is also, for the record, trade. When I was asked to take on trade, I thought, how difficult can that be? And then Trump became president of America. But that's not for today. If you want my opinions on trade, catch me over a beer later. What we are looking at today is bringing the youth into the industry. I wasn't at the last conference. I gather you had a panel discussion and the Gen Z audience said, corrugated, what is that? Who are you? We don't know you. We know nothing about you. We all know that there's an episode of The Simpsons where Bart is told if he behaves badly, he'll be working in a cardboard box factory. That's the image we're dealing with. So what are we going to do about it? Today is a bit of a call to arms. Like much of manufacturing industry, we have an aging workforce. People are getting older, they're retiring, they're moving on. COVID and working from home has escalated a lot of that. We need to look at how we bring new people in. You are quite right to be looking at the future of your workforce. But, and this is really important, there are two reasons why you might look at the future. The first one is, are we losing specific technical expertise? The second is, are we an attractive workforce to be based in? The first applies to the paper mills in this country. They are losing the people who know how to make paper. There are technical elements to that you need to have. We also have a reputational issue, but the point is there are two different things here. So my first question to you, do you want specific technical expertise, or do you want people to come in because it's an attractive industry, and in that latter case, are you less concerned about the technical expertise? Example, paper making. To set up an apprenticeship scheme from scratch is hard work. We've been doing it in the CPI. Don't worry too much about the details. The important point is we have done it, we've got experience. In a nutshell, we've got 3 years' worth of learners, 3 cohorts. The first cohort, 3 years in, has just graduated. At the awards later this month, we're going to present certificates to our first qualified paper makers. 3 years, gets to level 3. If you're not familiar with the educational process, that's broadly in line with A levels. So we've got people who are trained in process engineering, and they have paper-making additional bolt-on. They come out of, after 3 years, qualified paper-making apprenticeships. They happen to go to a training facility in Grimsby. Doesn't really matter where it's based, but there are good reasons why we went there. But that brings in questions of geography. Not every paper mill in the country wants to send someone to Grimsby. If you're based in the southwest around here, it's a long way to go. But we're not a big industry, we're not a lot of people yet. We are growing. When we have more people, we can look at different facilities. At the moment, there's only one facility. It happens to be Grimsby. The geography isn't always perfect. We also have issues across the devolved administrations. If you're in Wales, there are complications about funding. Don't worry about the details. We've been through it. The point is, if you want an apprenticeship scheme from scratch, it's complicated. So unless you're particularly motivated, that's not going to happen for you. But it doesn't need to. If you want this first option of people who are trained in a specific technical knowledge, then it already exists. You'll be familiar perhaps with the British Printing Industries Federation, BPIF. They have these schemes. Printing operative to level 2, that's a GCSE qualification effectively, and printing technician to level 3. If you want someone who's trained in printing, and their printing could easily be the printing operation in your conversion facility, if you want that, it's there. If you want an apprentice in printing, quite possibly to go along any engineering, you may have engineering apprenticeships already, to go alongside, if you want printing, it's there, it's available. I can coordinate for you, you can go direct to them, I'm not too fussed. We're not going to get precious about who's leading this scheme. It is there if you want it. Also an MVQ level 3 in carton manufacturer, which may be adaptable to the conversion elements. We need to look into that. If you want technical, if you want apprenticeship, there are models out there already, which I'd encourage you to follow. But that, as I've tried to say, is quite different from getting people more interested in the industry. Youth engagement is a different thing. How do we do that? Why do we do that? 3 reasons broadly why you might go out and try and engage a youth audience. Number 1, because you want people in the local area to come work for you. Doesn't matter what the qualifications are, doesn't matter how much they know about cardboard yet. You want them to think that your factory is a nice place to work. You want them to think that the corrugated industry is a good place to work. Fine, recruitment, understood. Second reason, community. You don't need them to come work for you, but you do want them to know that that factory on that science park or the place they drive past on the way to school or whatever it is, this is what we do. And then the third message, of course, is our environmental sustainability messages. That we are a sustainable resource, that we're efficient packaging, that we're recyclable, that we don't cut down trees, we use recycled fibre. You might just want to go into schools and tell them the promotional message. These are the sort of the reasons why we do it. But how do we do it? I'm going to suggest in a second that what we need to do is go out to schools. There are different ways we can engage, but getting out to schools seems to be the most likely option. It's tough because I imagine everyone in your local area would rather work for Google or Coca-Cola or automotive or aeronautical. These are the sexy industries. We're not sexy. So we need to do something to change this, and that's going to start at a very grassroots level, saying this is what we are, this is what we do. And the point is, and people have referred to this already, I think Neil mentioned it when he said he was going out to schools, we have creative design options. We are engineering, we are sustainability, we are recycling at its heart. We are all of these things. We just need to tell people. So how are we going to do this? I've been giving a lot of thought to how we do this. You've heard me talk about beyond the box. This time last year I was saying to you, these are the sort of things we're doing, social media, these are the messages we're putting out, this is our target audience, this is the way we're doing it. But that comes with a budget. Option 1 for engaging with the youth audience is we go back to a funded model where SBA contributes and maybe CPI members contribute, and together we have something of the order perhaps of £250,000 and we go out and engage an agency and we make a noise on social media. All the usual problems with marketing. Can you tell me whether it's being efficient? Well, yes and no, but it doesn't really matter because I don't think that money is going to come my way. If industry wants to give me £250,000, I can run a PR scheme for you. Easy. Done it before with Beyond the Box. We can do it again. But I don't think the money is going to be coming. Until you tell me otherwise, we move on to option B. in-person visits. Now, this is going to have to involve you. If you want to change youth opinion, and we're going down option B, then it's going to mean you doing something. I'm not going to get to 250 schools in a year. I wouldn't want to, but it's not going to happen even if I did want to. I can't get out to the hundreds of schools we need to, but if every one of you goes out to 1 or 2 schools locally, and if I can encourage the CPI members as well to get out to 1 or 2 schools locally, then we're starting to get to hundreds of schools. I can't do the action centrally. We can have guidance, we can have promotional materials, we can give you leaflets, we can do all the guidance notes, all the tools centrally, but we can't do the activity centrally. So if B is going to be viable, then it's going to need you actually to do something. Option C, third-party websites. Got an example of that in a moment. There are websites that are set up to go out to youth. Here's your example. You can check it out yourself, not just labcoats.co.uk, set up specifically for 16 to 18-year-olds who want a career in science or technology generally, whatever that means nowadays. It's more than just wearing a lab coat and being in a laboratory. It's more than just lab coats. And it's all sorts of things. Check out the website yourself. We've engaged with that. There's no cost to join this website. Paper packaging will be on there as a career option. Oh, it's a start. How many people see it? Are there other websites we could go to? Absolutely yes. Does some of them cost money? Yes, we come back to budget. So, just going to go back. If we want to engage with the youth audience, those are 3 options I can think of. If you've got other ideas, I'd like to hear them. But basically, it's either a budget for a big promotional campaign, which I don't think is going to happen. It's going out to third-party websites, which we can do, and may or may not get any results. Or it's going out to schools. Neil's good enough to say he's been to schools. Other people have told me already today that they're going out to schools. Good. There'll be people here that haven't told me yet they're going out to schools. That's all good stuff. We need to centralise the resource. We need to make sure everyone knows what they're doing. But you need to do it. Now, after today, there's going to be a questionnaire. I've spoken to Tim, I've spoken to Katie. There's going to be a questionnaire that goes out to you. And we're going to ask you some questions. Are you interested in the packaging apprenticeship for printing? Yes or no? If yes, can we do something centrally to help you? Are you interested in going out to schools? Yes or no? If I was to ask for a show of hands who thinks we should be doing something to promote the industry, everyone would put their hand up. If I asked you to keep your hand up if you're actually prepared to put your people into local schools, will you commit to me now that 2 people will go into 2 local schools before Christmas? The hands may drop. I'm not going to ask you, don't worry. But the questionnaire will ask, in confidence, are you prepared to do it? And if the answer is no, that's fine. But if you want to promote the industry, then things need to happen. One of the things we've already introduced is a webinar. Now, this is tomorrow, and I appreciate that's late notice, but I hope some of you have seen this already. If you're not able to get along, if you're not already registered, this will be recorded. We will circulate it to you. This is a third-party organisation called Cogent Skills who will be talking about why do you go into schools? What are you trying to achieve? How do you do it effectively? What is an ambassador? Who should do it? It doesn't have to be the MD, doesn't have to be the sales manager. It can be someone on the front desk who knows schools and is really keen. It might be someone who's just joined your industry and joined your company and just been through an apprenticeship themselves. They might be the best person because they're only a couple of years older than the ones they're talking to. If you're interested, come find me over a drink tonight and I can get you the link for that tomorrow. If you can't get in, don't worry, it will be recorded and you will see it. Advice on what you can do, but again, it's going to come back to what you are actually prepared to do. So I'll leave you with these questions, and it's really a call to arms. This isn't going to happen unless something changes. Sum of money so I can run a scheme. You going out to schools, or we find websites we can engage with. Again, if you can find other options, I'd be pleased to hear them, but those, I think, are the 3 best ways we know. What do you want? Do you want apprenticeships? If so, we can find you the details. Do you want youth engagement? If so, what are you prepared to do? Questionnaire will follow. I'd like your inputs. Do come find me later if you've got any questions. But until then, thank you, Tim.